What's up, beautiful people? Today we're going to be checking out Obama is terrified of his cover-up leaking. Let's check it out.
Former President Barack Obama holds the keys to Joe Biden's presidency and future career. Governor Abbott is told to immediately stop sending illegal immigrants to New York City, and I'll share his candid reaction. Plus, Poland is ramping up for war with Belarus. Thank you so much for liking and sharing these videos on
That's
Twitter
really
and
happening.
Facebook. It really helps me out, so thank you so much. Also, I want to thank today's video sponsor, Aura, and I'll tell you about their free trial later in this video. The Los Angeles Times has reported that President Biden may block illegal immigrants from leaving the state of Texas after they enter. While the LA Times stated the reason for this new approach would be to help deport migrants who fail asylum screenings faster, I think we all know the real reason they want Governor Abbott to stop sending immigrants to Democrat-led cities and states. Just this past week, New York City Mayor Eric Adams claimed the crisis is on the verge of destroying New York City and it cannot be fixed. So
We've
in
seen
my
videos.
opinion, the Biden administration is looking for creative ways to keep the border open, but to keep the problem within Texas and Arizona. Now, Governor Abbott shot back and committed to continue to flood Democrat-run cities with illegal immigrants until they get the message to close the border. Texas and Arizona simply cannot shoulder the problem of this many people coming into their state. Just ahead of 2024, California Governor Gavin Newsom has finally announced that under no uncertain terms, he will not be running for president of the United States. During an interview with NBC, Newsom voiced his full support for Joe Biden and claimed that people need to stop with the notion that Biden won't be running. But is a presidential run in Newsom's future? Newsom exclaimed that as of right now, he believes VP Harris should run next, and he claimed that he would not run against her. So as of now, it does seem that a presidential run for Gavin Newsom is off the table. Now, we know the DNC.
How is Michelle Obama? Because people are speculating that Michelle Obama is going to come in the picture eventually. I don't know if you guys have heard that, but I've been reading a lot of that recently, that she's going to run and she's going to be the next president, or at least that's what the plan is.
DNC has no plans of backing RFK Jr. because he will investigate Big Pharma and the military-industrial congressional complex. And they simply can't have that. They have to keep making money under the table by blessing their donors with contracts and money. So it really could come down to Joe Biden or Kamala Harris as the only Democrat options. FBI Director Christopher Wray has announced that the United States is dealing with a Russian spy epidemic during a speech at the International Spy Museum. He stated the Russian intelligence footprint, and by that I mean Russian intelligence officers, is still way too big in the United States. Wray noted that this infestation is hard to squash due to Moscow using middlemen known as cutouts, which makes it harder for them to trace communication from a spy to their Russian superior. As gas prices continue to rise, former President Donald Trump has bashed President Biden for attempting to make army tanks fully electric to deal with climate change. Trump mocked Biden by saying, the Biden administration wants to now make our army tanks all electric, so...
What do you think about that? How efficient is that going to be? People are complaining about the Hummer EV, that this doesn't make sense. So now imagine the armored truck being electric. How efficient is that going to be? Imagine the battery size, the aerodynamics. Like, how is it going to add? I don't know. I'm not an engineer. Maybe the engineers have figured it out. Maybe the armored truck is going to be very slippery, and I don't know. Maybe you guys have. And also, how far can it go? What would be the range? Well, I'll let the engineers figure that out. But it's a good one, right?
Continue to rise. Former President Donald Trump has bashed President Biden for attempting to make army tanks fully electric to deal with climate change. Trump mocked Biden by saying, the Biden administration wants to now make our army tanks all electric. So despite the fact that they will not be able to go very far, few pollutants will be released into the air. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe they would be able to have technology where these would be able to go the same distance or a similar distance or further. But as of right now, can you imagine, like, hey, we have no ability to move a $50 million tank because the solar panels are broken, something like that. Now, speaking of Donald Trump, District Attorney Fani Willis has slammed Ohio Representative Jim Jordan for his alleged attempt to illegally disrupt her investigation into Donald Trump by launching his own investigation into her motives. Willis released a 9-page letter scolding Jordan for what she called inaccurate information and misleading statements. Jordan has accused Fani Willis of election interference because she has requested that the trial for Donald Trump begin on March 4th, the day before Super Tuesday and 8 days before the Georgia presidential election primary. But let me know in the comments down below, who do you think is right? Is Fani Willis right and Jim Jordan is interfering in the proper research into whether Donald Trump committed some kind of crime? Or is Jim Jordan right and Fani Willis is doing this in order to rack up points to get herself reelected? Let me know in the comments down below.
Time will tell, definitely. That's one thing I know for sure. Time will tell.
From the National Archive for security reasons. These are 5,400 emails where he uses a fake name in order to communicate with foreigners and also with his son Hunter and with his son Hunter's law firm. Now, do you think Joe Biden is protecting himself because these emails are damning and would make his life extremely complicated? Or do you think he's being altruistic and genuinely blocking them in order to protect the United States of America? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, Florida Representative Byron Donaldson has said, former President Barack Obama has the authority to release those emails and a duty to show the American people what Joe Biden was doing with foreigners and his son's business dealings. He said, it's quite interesting that the National Archive would need the authority of President Obama to release that information. But we already saw with the National Archive that they moved at warp speed to get authority from Joe Biden to go after classified documents at Mar-a-Lago, because that's exactly what happened. He also said, if there's nothing to hide, then release the roughly 5,400 emails and electronic records from the 3 alias accounts used by Biden.
And I think so too. If there's nothing to hide, let it be shown.
Lastly, he said, I think that Barack Obama should go ahead and release them. That's just what he should do. Now, do you think President Barack Obama should release those? Or is he going to protect Vice President Joe Biden and his own presidency from the dirt that could be inside of these 5,400 emails? I mean, who knows? Maybe he'll pass them to Hillary Clinton and she can scrub those 5,400 emails with bleach and a hammer and this whole thing goes away. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down below. This seems pretty shady to me, though. Now, despite backlash that Jim Jordan has received, he has just decided to move forward with another probing investigation, this time into Special Counsel Jack Smith, the man who is overseeing multiple indictment prosecutions against Donald Trump. In a letter addressed to Smith's office, Jordan explained his reasoning as he stated, last year, Jay Bratt, one of your senior prosecutors and top aides, allegedly improperly pressured Stanley Woodward, a lawyer representing a defendant indicted by you, by implying that the administration would look more favorably on Mr. Woodward's candidacy for a judgeship if Mr. Woodward's client cooperated with the Office of Special Counsel. So a witness has come forward admitting Special Prosecutor Jack Smith is using bribery and pressure tactics to get the outcome he wants versus legally using the law to pursue his cases. So basically, this was saying, listen, give us what we want and we'll make sure you become a judge. Now, they're going to have to prove all of this, but that's what was in Jim Jordan's letter. Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has decided that she will in fact be running for another term of Congress in 2024, despite stepping down from leadership positions earlier this year. It seems she believes she still has a lot to do in Congress and for the people of San Francisco.
She's been there for like 34 years, right? Hasn't she? Yeah, I think I read that she's been there. I think I might have seen it somewhere that she's been there for about 34 years or maybe less. Don't quote me on that, but it's a long time. It's a very long time for one person to be in power. It happens in Africa too a lot.
Now, Pelosi is 83 years old right now and still has a lot more insider trading to do. Oh, sorry, scratch that. She still has a lot to do for the people of San Francisco. She says she wants to clean up the homelessness problem and the drug problems of San Francisco. But then again, why haven't you done this over your 50-year career? Why are you
50.
suddenly so interested in doing that? Now, Disney has just dropped most of their claims against Florida Governor Ron DeSantis in an effort to center their argument around the First Amendment. The company stated the remaining claim challenging the law reconstituting the area with the governor's hand-picked board of supervisors as a retaliatory weaponization of government in violation of Disney's First Amendment rights can be fully adjudicated here no matter how the state courts rule on Disney's contract claims. So basically, Disney's dropping a bunch of their lawsuit to now say, listen, the governor of Florida has weaponized his office against Disney Corporation, and we're using our First Amendment rights to put out the kind of content that we want as a company. Now, what do you think? Is it time for Ron DeSantis to stop using taxpayer money to go after Disney Corporation? I mean, they are entitled to free speech, but also Americans are entitled to free speech and voting with their dollar. If you don't like Disney, stop giving them your money. Companies seem to change their behavior real quick when their cash flow starts to dry up. Yeah. So I don't know if Ron DeSantis needs to quit using taxpayer money to go after Disney. But let me know your thoughts down below. As fears of an invasion increase, NATO member Poland, which borders Russia's biggest ally, Belarus, has decided to increase their investment into military to lower the chances it would be challenged by Belarus in battle. Poland's defense minister...
Now, we saw a video on, I think, Lukashenko, that's the president of Belarus, Lukashenko. So he was speaking, he said that they're trying to buy more weapons or spend money on this, and the justification for that to say is they are going to go to war with Belarus, so they are preparing for Belarus. They're just using that as a justification. I'm paraphrasing what he said, but he said something in that light, that Belarus is not trying to fight anybody, but Poland has to do all these things or use money to, do what they want to do, and to justify that they are saying they are using it to prevent a war with Belarus. I don't know if that is true, but that was in his speech. We brought it to the channel as well, so you can check out that video.
Stated, we want peace, and if we want that, we must prepare for war. In connection with that, we are strengthening the Polish army. So we really, really want peace. Therefore, we're really going to ramp up our ability to go to war. Ukraine is heavily criticizing Elon Musk for his decision to continuously withhold internet from Ukraine's military after they previously used it to conduct missile strikes into Russia. While Ukraine argues Musk is responsible for allowing Russia to strike, Musk stated he made the decision because he didn't want to be complicit in a major act of war and conflict escalation. Now, despite not wanting to escalate, Russia's former prime minister added to the flames by saying Musk was the last adequate mind in North America. Now, what do you think? Musk is personally funding the free internet over Ukraine. So with that said, does he have the right to turn it on or off if he doesn't want his invention, his technology, his platform, his company to be involved in the murder of Ukrainian people?
So I just want to add to what he said. I think in Elon Musk's tweet, he said the internet was never activated, so it was not deactivated. You know, he said if it wasn't on previously, he didn't have to turn it off, but he will not turn it on for this to be carried out. He doesn't want to be involved with it, involved with the whole, the war thing going on. And also it's going to lead to an escalation, a nuclear war escalation. I think that's something in that light he might have said. But yeah, so the key point there is it wasn't on before, so he's not turning it on now.
Or the murder of Russian people? Let me know your thoughts down below. It's pretty complicated, but this is a company that Elon Musk owns and therefore has the right to turn it on or turn it off. Now, before you go, let me remind you that you are amazing. You really are. I appreciate you stopping by. Appreciate you supporting the channel. Make sure to give this video a like and hit that subscribe button. Also, check out this important video and this important video. I have two big interviews dropping in the next 40.
Okay, I put the link to the channel so you can go support him. I always put any video you watch, I try my best, as long as I don't forget, but I always put the links in the description. Yeah, that was an interesting one, interesting updates. Let me know what you think. He spoke about a lot, from the emails where the wrong names were used. He also spoke about the aerodynamics, spoke about Elon Musk. I'm just going to add to what he said about Elon Musk. This lady from Hindustan Times, I think that's how the news channel is called. She said Elon Musk might have done the right thing here, but even though, why should one man have so much power? To be able to be a part of a war, to be a major part. Like, why should he be that powerful that he can just turn on the internet and a missile is dropped in another country and he turns it off and the missile is not dropped? Like, why is he that powerful? And that's such a good question. I don't understand. Why should one man have so much power? I mean, I like Elon Musk. I like technology, So when you like technology, it's almost natural to navigate towards people who make the technology. But I'm always concerned when I see how much he's influencing technology and the resources he has available to him. He has so much power. Anyways, let me know what you think about that video. Share your thoughts. It's the end of this one. Smash the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace. I made this bed